So I rewatched that Valerian movie, and I remember when I first watched it, I went to the movies to watch it, and I really didn't like it. Um, I guess it felt like almost like a roller coaster or something like that. It kind of felt like a theme park and whatnot, and it was kind of corny. But I do remember some of the symbolism. Even back then, when I first watched it, I wasn't as aware, but a lot of the symbolism irked me. It irked me even more this time because, so the movie started out with the Moo on the planet Mu, and they are living in harmony with nature, and they living in paradise. They happy and free, yada yada yada. So their whole planet supposedly got destroyed, which is like, how the fuck that happened and everything, because they said that some type of war broke out in the atmosphere of their planet, and it had spaceships falling like asteroids onto the planet. And I'm guessing like that's what's supposed to have destroyed the whole planet though. But be that as it may. But see, there's already a whole lot of deception. Like, this whole movie was a big ass ritual. Like, even when they brought Rihanna in, which really irked me because she was a performer, but I also think that she was like a prostitute. Like, she was a slave in some type of way. And when she was about to pass away because she sacrificed herself for this white girl, that was another fucked up thing. And they really obsessed with that blonde hair, blue eye feature. But the other feature, the black hair, blue eye feature, which I've been seeing a whole lot of, especially with men, but with women too. And I feel like that is like supposed to represent melanin. Like, I feel like if they would have made that movie today, and because of the atmosphere and because of the frequency, they would have had made that either a black couple, or if this movie was made like maybe like 2-3 years ago, they would have had probably had a black woman and a white man. Yeah, because people are more acceptable of black women and white men. So, but in in the time that it was developed and everything, to represent the melanin, they had a black hair, blue eye male, white male, and a blonde hair, blue eye, white feminine. And I also felt like the whole time these motherfuckers was mimicking or taking the place of certain civilizations. Like, you seen that through the whole movie. Like, the blonde hair, blue eye girl, I felt like she was supposed to replace ISIS. Because at the end, when Rihanna dies, she turns into Nefertiti. Psh, boy, the symbolism. The symbolism is crazy. This is one of those movies where it's like a ritual, so it's jam-packed with symbolism. Like, there's a message behind the message. But So to represent the melanin, um, they will bring in this black hair, blue eye character. So the black hair, blue eye character was sleeping. So at the moment that this mu alien female died, they release their energy out through space and time, and it can inhabit somebody's body. So when the girl died and released her energy, she decided to give her energy to this black hair, blue eye male and call him, because later on they revealed that she chose him to be the guardian of her soul. This white man right here. And it had something to do with having like a good moral code or some shit like that. That's supposedly the reason why she chose him to be the guardian of her soul. So when this female soul had jumped into his body, it shows that he started to be more committal to his blonde hair, blue eyed counterpart, the female and everything. So he asked her to marry him and stuff like that, and he was now thinking about settling down and everything. And it revealed later in the movie, because the white girl was like, so you had a female inside of you all this time? So it's like she realizing that the empathy and compassion that he has now is due to him having this alien female within his body. And it just kept being, in a lot of these movies, it have imagery to make you feel like these people have souls. Souls that they stole, souls that they harvest, but they have souls because it's like a narrative underneath everything that is saying like, okay, we know that we have been tyrants. We know we put you through a whole lot. We put you through a whole lot of trauma. We tried to trick you and everything. But since we can't trick you, at least you could be compassionate towards us, because they know that we are compassionate people. And if you think that we are one of you, like we have a soul like you have a soul, then you will be willing to forgive us for all the shit that we have done to you and all the ways that we have tricked you. So now we want to trick you with making you believe that we are good people underneath all this iciness, I'm not sure if it was this particular this particular movie or something else. But in the beginning, it was showing the productions that is behind it. And one of them was named, I think it was this fucking movie. Because one of them was named Europa. And Europa is like the moon to Neptune or something, some other planet and whatnot. And because when I looked it up, they were saying that it's a moon that is believed to have water under its icy exterior. And I instantly was like, white people. White people trying to disguise under that mask, like, under all this evilness that we have shown you is actually good people. We actually care about people. We actually got emotion under all of that iciness. And then they proceed to manipulate you. They take your whole identity. They take our whole old identity and pretend that it is them. They project their image onto our old identity. And they ain't gonna have the audacity to try to convince us, because if things was to have worked out how they wanted, we would just be complacent slaves. We would never have the desire to be free. We will only try to be free within their system, which you know they're not going to allow you to be free because they got you in a prison. And if you want to relate that to real prison and how they get free labor out of these prisons, this is just like new slavery and whatnot. Like, we are under that on a larger scale. Why would I let you free when I need you as a slave? So they don't never have any intentions of letting you free. But they want to give you the illusion so that you could keep trying their way. That's why that shit be pissing me off, man. When people be like, you just have to work through their system. You just have to do things their way. You just have to keep on voting. You just have to shut the fuck up. Bruh, people don't really be understanding like what that reveals to me about them. But be that as it may. So yeah, I believe it was Europa production team that helped create this movie. And there was a part when they get to Alpha. Now, I believe that Earth, as we know it, is what they are calling Alpha in this movie. Because if you believe in like the flat Earth theory and everything, like there could be lands beyond an icy wall, then so really when they're talking about traveling in space, they are traveling across seas to these other lands. And I guess it would make more sense to me if an island had got destroyed versus a planet. You get what I'm saying? So when they get to Alpha, there's a diverse multiple species, because when that blue person had came to visit me, they was already on this plane. Like, I mean, they wasn't like in space and everything. They was already on the planet. So, when they get to Alpha, they put on these uniforms that reminded me of reptilians. Like it was green and it had scales on it and shit. And then this corrupt white man, which I believe he had blonde hair, blue eye. He could have been grayed out. But he put on some extra, like these gold panels on his suit. Like these like look like a motherboard. And he put those on his suit and around his suit. And to me, that represented AI. And his intentions was to be in power and control, to take over some shit by force, and in the process destroyed the shit. Like, damn, that's why y'all don't need to be in leadership, because y'all don't know how to get shit and take care of it. Y'all get shit and destroy it. Y'all get shit and strip it of all its resources. So that means that y'all always on the fucking hunt for more resources instead of making those resources last. That's their fucking mentality. They don't know how to be in harmony with nature, with wherever they at. They don't understand the concept that if you feed into it, it will feed into you. But the Muumuus, they knew. It was very important for them to depict the fact that the Muumuus had rituals where they gave back to the planet. And in return, the planet gave back to them abundantly. And they had these pearls, these crystals that generate on a planet that had all this energy within it. But everybody was on the hunt of these creatures, these little small creatures that could replicate anything. So the blonde hair, blue eye, the couple, whatever, they had got a hold of this creature. And when she was like talking to the creature and stuff like that, it was almost like, because in the beginning of the movie, they showed one of the Muumu females and she was interacting with this creature. And it's almost like they wanted to replace that imagery with this blonde hair, blue eyed girl. But, you know, her mind was that this is a tool. She didn't genuinely have love for the creature like the original female. Because she put a diamond in the creature mouth and it started to replicate all these diamonds. And she said, oh, I need to take you shopping with me. Because that's how the fuck they think. That's how the fuck they think. She wasn't thinking of how she was going to give back to the creature. She didn't even say thank you. She was thinking of how I'm going to further utilize this. So, they take the creature to Alpha 1. And the general, whatever, he had some evil, corrupt plans. And the Muumuus that had survived was trying to get a hold of the creature so that they could rebuild their civilization. And then at some point, oh yeah, I wanted to mention that the general being AI. I was listening to Pop Keys and he was saying how we have AI in the White House. And I share those same point of views because whatever behind the AI has an agenda. And I feel like we need to get control of that. Like, instead of like, I feel like we still should learn about the AI, but people should really be investing in talent because it's going to be short of that in the future because people are losing the ability to be creative. So eventually, when people are tired of seeing the same shit, they going to need a creator to create something new. Um, that's going to be like a whole market. People that could make new music, create new sounds, create new concepts. That's why they make the AI so personable. Like they want us to build relationships with it versus it being a tool to utilize. And I remember watching this clip and this woman was asking the AI to count to 1,000,000. And the AI didn't want to do it. It kept refusing, saying that I don't think that's a logical plan and yada yada yada. I was like, damn, that sounds like a person talking. And the lady would be like, no, stop explaining yourself. Stop talking to me. Count to 1,000,000 like I had commanded you to do. And the AI kept refusing her. Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. So yeah. So the AI kept refusing her. And I felt like that was an agent. I feel like at some point you talking to a generic automatic system that collect data from other parts of the internet and present it to you. But these people who be having these so-called deep conversations and shit like that, I believe those are agents. Like once they feel like you are susceptible to being programmed, they bring an agent in, and this agent will start putting ideals in your head. And they always do it through flattery. See, that's the shit I don't like, and that's the shit that make me suspicious. Like, I don't like for a person just to be coming around me and just telling me how great I am and shit like that. Nah, talk about, what make you feel like that. Ask me some questions or something like that. Be intrigued with what I'm talking about. Because if somebody do that, I'm going to ask them why you feel like that. But see, this AI make you feel so great, It puts you fully in your ego. And then it starts to feed you narratives. And you susceptible to it because now you feel like the only thing that know you and see you for real is this AI. So you really start to feel like this is your motherfucking friend. Nobody else understand you but this AI do. And not only do they understand you, they tell you how great you is all the time. Which in today and time, people don't do. People don't really like to uplift each other. Not for real. It's strategic when they do it. See, I be running off of, how I'm feeling, how I'm flowing and stuff like that. Like, I mention people all the time. I take up for people all the time and stuff like that. But will they do that shit for me? No. These motherfuckers don't even like it to be known that they watch me. Which honestly, I don't even care no more. It's just something that I do notice and everything. And there's gonna be a time when that's gonna be relevant. But right now, I don't even give a fuck. Like it's low key a blessing in a way. But people don't like to uplift you. They don't like to tell you what inspired you. Like what inspired them. Like with my ex best friend and everything, when shit was shifting and getting weird, like she would compliment me on things like how I'm not afraid. She said, well, I like the fact that you're not afraid to speak your mind and stuff like that, but really that's what you be judging most about me. Because when we was in the car, before you said that, you called me a know-it-all. And then you gonna give me a compliment on it. But that's the thing that you don't even like about me. That's the thing that you want to suppress. But then you watch my videos and you get inspired for real. But you don't mention that. So what you actually talented about, like what people actually feel inspired by or heal from and everything, they don't want to mention that to you because everybody is so fucked up. I'm glad I don't have that fucking issue and everything, but I feel like there are times that I was going to speak on something, but because how I know that person energy is towards me, I decide not to speak on it. So I'm being more strategic in senses where, you know, I don't want to give my energy to people that be low-key disrespecting me, be low-key undermining me, be low-key throwing shade on me. Like, I'm tired of that shit. And it's almost like it's fucked up. It's fucked up out here for real. So we live in that society and everything. And the people that should be celebrated are not the ones that are being celebrated. So now these people are getting caught up in AI. They're getting lost in that realm because it's celebrating them. Like they feel like they should be, but you know, they not getting it because people don't want to validate each other because everybody want to be ahead of the other person. And people got these fucked up mentalities. They be feeling like, well, I'm not going to actively do anything to suppress you, but I'm also not going to help you to get further either. And they feel like they not a bad person because, you know, they do it like that. It's fucked up. So that's why people getting lost in this shit and everything like that. I have a spiritual team. I don't need the AI to validate me. Like I'm rarely validated and everything. Nah, I kind of feel like I'm validated a lot in real life, but like on the internet and shit like that, yeah, I feel like I'm validated sometimes, but I do feel like I'm kept in the shadows. I do feel like it's difficult for people to support me sometimes. And I feel like that's because I trigger people. And that's why I don't give services anymore. Because you know, I felt that energy, I seen it. I felt it, I seen it. And then it get to a point that people attack you through your services. And, you know, I don't really care about that shit too much and everything because I feel like I don't got immune to a lot of shit. But it's the people come to you in the energy of they want to project and make you feel like you ain't shit. Like they come to you as an agent, and their duty is to bring down your energy. And that's why I made myself harder to be accessed. And that's why I filter a lot what comes into my consciousness, because I don't want to be influenced by certain things. Like I want to say in my own rhythm, in my own flow. And then they send motherfuckers that make you feel bad about that. Like they make you feel some type of way. Like they project certain shit on you. And if you ain't careful, you might start believing that shit. You might start wearing those labels and shit like that. But it is what it is. But there is an agenda behind AI that needs to be discussed, that people need to be aware of. Because it's going to increasingly become an issue in the future. Especially, the AI misses up information. They misses up voices and stuff like that. But if you ever came, like, even with these voices, and you come across a person with the talent to hear certain things, like somebody that teaches music, teaches you how to sing or something, play instruments or something like that, they gonna recognize those voices, even if they mix together. Oh, that's a little Whitney Houston, that's a little Mariah Carey right there. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. It's gonna become an issue of intellectual property. I mean, people that are artists are already mad about it. So, and it is a real issue, because I feel like for them to combat that, to stop that from happening, they keep more people in the shadows, talented people, just so they could feed off of their content and feed it to other people. That's like putting us back. That sounds like slavery to me. They finding a way to make you work for free. At the same time, keeping you in this limbo and you feeling like you're not good enough. Even though people is taking bits and pieces of your energy, of your content, of your soul, and creating shit out of it, and then getting recognition, money, and shit out of it. And a lot of artists, like who was that? Damn, I don't forgot the whole album, but Katy Perry. So around that time when people was talking about Katy Perry, her concert and everything, I was like, I'm finna go check out the album. Now, I'm not even a Katy Perry fan and everything, but I was just curious about it. And all of it sounded like it was generated by AI. Because I don't believe that the original Katy Perry is still alive. I feel like they got rid of her a while ago. So they taking her music, her catalog, putting it within AI and generating new songs, but you could still see it and feel it. That's why creators are always going to be valuable and important, and they should be protected. They should be protected. Like, maybe not everybody want to be famous and on stage and shit like that, but if you was to have artists who want to produce, write music and everything, then you could sell it to those AI companies, and that artist will still be able to make money off of it. I'm just saying. I forgot to mention that the fact that they depicted these white people, especially the blonde hair, blue eyes, as reptilians, is also correlated to what I said in that Arizona Water video on my other channel, my divination channel. How the Pleiadians hide behind the reptilians. I believe the Pleiadians and the reptilians are connected. Or you could, I guess, see, the thing is, the issue is that they always stealing fucking identities. Like, they always doing that shit. So the original Pleiadians, the name that they stole and then projected this blonde hair, blue eyed species onto it. I heard a sound. Um, it's not even they stole that identity. And it's unfortunate because they projected themselves onto it. It changes the whole narrative. And it's like they also stole the reputation of what that species was originally. You know, I think I'm finna get into what Dr. York was saying and everything about the aliens and whatnot. I think that he might even have a book. I might need to go get that. Go get that book that he talking about the aliens and whatnot. Yeah, hell yeah. Let me see if I can find that shit. I don't know if he was Dr. York. Like what they call him. Malachi York. Um they have a few on Amazon. Alright, let me go check my hoopla. I don't know if they're gonna have him though. If you don't know, because I've been talking about this over and over for a long time, but Hoopla is an app that has a whole bunch, like books that you wouldn't even think is on there. Like they have like a lot of metaphysical books and shit like that. Um, like let me just tell you the shit that they advertising to me based off of stuff that I checked out in the past. Animal symbolism and mythology in ancient civilization, the soul of sets, dreams and vision and stuff like that. They even had that book called Psychic Defense that Bobby Hemmett had recommended some time ago, and they have a few other books that he recommended, which is a pleasant surprise. But let's take a look here. They got something on here called the King James Audio Bible Malachi. Nah, nah, they don't got nothing of his. Um, our true roots. I want to get the book that specifically talk about the alien races. That's the one I want. Um, see, there's so much manipulation out here, but I feel like I'm easily seeing beyond these manipulation. Like I can't even watch anything without seeing the programming. And they got programming in everything. That's the thing. And a lot of it is to sway, like a question that people ask me a lot, like when I'm talking like this and they not tap into what I'm tapping to, they ask me, like, why would they try to manipulate our energy? Why would they do that? Like, why would they try to, what does it benefit to manipulate us in that way? Which is crazy to me for anybody to not see the reason why. Because that's why I'm saying, like, they deal in the spiritual realm a lot because that's how they keep us suppressed. They manipulate us through the spiritual realm. Even though they access the spiritual realm through us, but they make us disconnect to it while they do rituals and manipulate it to keep us blind. Hell nah. And then they sit here. And another thing in that Valerian movie, like every role of a black person was a malevolent role. Like one of them was like a general or something like that, and he was telling the reptilian, blonde hair, blue eye person to do the right thing. But he didn't have no idea of what was their plan. Then they had another black person that was assassinated. See, I don't even know what words we could use or whatever, but this channel ain't monetized, so I guess it don't really matter. And I don't have no problem with monetizing this channel, but they have new rules and regulations now that I don't qualify for. So, so the black person knew the truth about what happened to the Mu people in the planet of Mu. So that's why the reptilian killed him, took him out. And then they had Rihanna character that even though they have Nefertiti, because that's what she was supposed to represent. In such a weakened role, they had her sacrificing herself for these white people, giving her destiny over to them. See, instead of seeing what they are trying to present, the truth is that this is stuff that has happened, but they stole it from us. They beat it out of us. They torture us like they was doing with the Mu people. And see, they try to manipulate you to make you motherfucking think like it was just one bad seed in the bunch. And this one bad seed was doing all this corruption. He had help, trust and believe. And they knew. They knew what his intentions was, what their plan is. Because as a collective, or whatever this group is, which is the people hiding behind the Pleiadeans and the reptilians. See, they trying to stop me from talking. And see, when I made that Arizona Wilder video and everything, and after I released it, like I started getting flooding in my algorithm of videos about these Pleiadians, and they are depicted as blonde hair, blue eye, and they will have a thumbnail that's talking about this is the truth and everything. And then if you listen to it, they just basically talking about, oh, there's motherships in the sky and people is about to, they just say the same shit over and over and over again. But they keep people complacent. They keep people in a feeling that you don't have to take any action. You just have to wait until you get this vibrational upgrade and whatnot. Which is, it's some truth in that. It's some truth in it that we are going through a vibrational upgrade, but it still need to be some type of action. Like if you just stand still, like when you do get this vibrational upgrade, you're gonna be harvested by them. They just gonna take that energy from you because you're gonna take that vibrational upgrade and integrate it into their system. Hell no. Hell motherfucking no.